and most welcome to another coverage for ICT, Cairo ICT activities for 2022. This interview, we are pleased to meet Mr. Lorenzo Lumassi, the Vice President for Services Sales at Dell Technologies. Most welcome, Mr. Lorenzo, and I know you are covering like huge area. If you can give us a hint about that.
Thank you for the welcome. Yes, I'm running the overall service organization across Dell Technology. Particularly from a regional point of view, we call mainland EMEA, so it means all Middle East, Africa and Turkey, Western region, Central and Eastern Europe.
Okay, great. So welcome again to Cairo. Nice meeting you here. And as we are in Cairo ICT, I would love at the beginning to take your impression, your first first impression about attending in Cairo ICT.
Well, first of all, I have to say that I'm impressed about the number of people and of course the different vendors that are proposing different kind of solution and technology. And I think this is reflecting also the active market that we see here in Egypt with customers that are looking for overall digital transformation and innovation in the way that they are running the business.
Do you expect some deals, some meetings, like strategic meetings here?
We have several customer meetings definitely. We have a partner that are interested to work with us, a partner existing one and a new one, and of course a customer that are looking to drill down in the overall solution and the offering that we have. So we are quite active, I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. I can actually know because of that. It's a very crowded, one of the most crowded booths in Cairo ICT, which is great. So, Mr. Lorenzo, if you can give me like a snapshot on Dell Services portfolio.
Clear. Listen, the Dell Technology Services is evolved in the last few years, in line with the overall Dell Technology strategy. A strategy in order to provide an offering that is based on consumption model that is quite focused from the edge to the core of the infrastructure. This means also quite in alignment with the kind of, let me say, focus area where Dell is investing. If you consider the multi-cloud, if you consider the data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, resiliency and security, and 5G clearly. So it means that the overall offering from Dell Technology Services is quite going to embrace this kind of enhancement and evolution of the portfolio. And our focus is mainly divided in multiple domains. The first one to help our customer to achieve what we call business outcome. In the last few years, we have seen customers running faster to implement a new technology in order to be able to answer to the market demand. But on the other side also now they need to consolidate the overall investment that they did. And we do this one through our consulting services. And a consulting that are more from a strategic point of view. So the objective is to help the customer to review their as-is environment and help them to define a roadmap on what we call the to-be based on milestone and prioritization. And consulting services that they are quite spread across the portfolio. Honestly, if you consider the multi-cloud strategy, many customers they are looking for a hybrid, a near-shore and a really hyperscale solutions. So they need to understand exactly where to move the workload, how to establish the best solution. We have focus in the resilience and security, which is an important area for our customer if you consider the recent even ransomware attacks, and also the workforce mobility, and how to get access to the remote workers, to the application and data in a secure way within the overall IT infrastructure. Then clearly we have a very strong alignment in what we see from a market trend, and this is all related to the managed and operational services, where customers they are looking not only to consumption models, infrastructure software and services, but also to a way to run those kind of environment. And here we operate with our managed services SLA and operational services SLO based. On top, clearly we have the support that we provide to our customers through our tools that are intrinsic within our technology in terms of machine learning and artificial intelligence in order to provide these kind of predictions. And I would say educational services that is quite an important element for our customers.
It's very important element. This is very. If you can give us more details about, especially that sector.
Clearly, I mean, I tell you. First of all, I just wanted to say that on top of the education, we have the deployment services that are linked to our technology. Going back to the educational side, what we see two main challenges from our customers. First of all, lack of resources, and the second point also lack of resources with the skills that they need to run and bring kind of innovation in line with their overall digital strategy the customer have in place. So what we provide two kind of solution. On the lack of resources with the management operation, but on the educational side, we go from our core technology infrastructure-wise, how to make it easy to manage, to handle, up to DevOps, application security, and the approach that we use is to support our customer in order to run a kind of assessment of the existing skills compared to the required skills, and we define together with them a kind of path to go in order to create a specific certification enablement and programs for them. Clearly, our educational team is also involved outside of our customer in order to establish partnership with the universities in order to create graduates and ad hoc programs around.
Fantastic. The past couple of years, it wasn't easy for everyone, for all business sector, and actually for CIT sector, it has like positive and negative sides for everything actually in the world. For Dell Technologies, how could you handle that hard times with the market, especially with your clients?
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, in the last few years, in particular post-pandemic, we have seen a lot of inflation and currency devaluation across all the region, and in particular here in Egypt. So the way that Dell Technology clearly is acting is to support our customer, first of all, with the solution that are going to fit exactly in their primary requirements, but on the other side also with financial services and or different way to acquire our solutions. And I mentioned before consumption models that can be based on infrastructure, that can be based on software, can be based on services in a kind of pay-per-use with financial clearly returns. And this is what we are doing with our customer. We released more than 1 year ago a solution that is called APEX. APEX is based also flex on demand consumption models. So in a nutshell, we realize the challenges of the market and we want to support our customers to bridge this gap with a solution that are kind of harmonizing the overall challenges from an inflection point of view with an offering that can be addressable, but on the other side also affordable from a financial point of view based on APEX, as I mentioned before, for example. That can be in the stores, in the data center, and or even in the application side.
Okay. When we think, for me as a person, when I think about Dell Technologies, actually, I found, especially in our region, it's always one of the best or the first one or two choices. What push people and organizations to choose Dell? From your point of view, how you attract, as a Dell, to attract people for your services and products?
But first of all, I have to say that META region is Middle East, Africa, and Turkey is a region that has a very strong footprint into the market. We have a very strong reputation that is based on our customer-first approach. We have a very strong coverage across the region. Just to give you an idea, we have more than 3,000 people. Most of them are based even here. We have a center of excellence intelligence. We have a global scale, and also we have a solution from a technology point of view that let's cover a broader portfolio, because as I mentioned before, we go from the infrastructure core of our customer up to the edge. And we have a unified approach that we try to help our customer to simplify the way that they use, consume our technology. Clearly, I mean, there is no technology without services that combine and producing solution for our customer. And then, as I mentioned before, we build a broader portfolio that is aligned with our service offering and vice versa. And then we can grant a kind of CSAT. We are particularly focused on the CSAT of our customers in every kind of engagement that we do and in every solution that we provide.
Okay, great. Personally, I already attracted more to Dell. Sir, actually Dell is playing an important role. Actually, I see it like ethically role to prepare the young people in Egypt for many ways to be ready for the future, for the market. What can you tell me about that?
Since many years, we have a particular attention to the local market in Egypt to establish the future people, the future workers that will bring innovation in their knowledge. And I have to say, since we established many years back, even our Center of Excellence, as I mentioned before, we have more than 2,500 people just based here. So we established graduate programs in the past, which means collaboration with universities, local one, where we specific on programs, can be in the cloud, can be in the big data, and so on. We create a business case that the university can drill down in order to create specific enablement for the students. And just recently we established with the Minister of the Communication and Information Technology an agreement focused on the artificial intelligence, where the Minister will provide a kind of a business case, and we will develop this business case, we will provide back to the university. Overall, we have 5 universities that are part of this one, 5 universities locally. And this is an additional initiative that we are bringing into the market in order to create, let's say, enablement and create the future generation. Because, as I mentioned before, there is a lack of skills and a lack of competencies. And this is another way that we try to inject into the market as a value added from a Dell technology point of view.
Okay, sir, I finished my question. If you'd like to add something at the end.
I think, Dell Technology, as we discussed, is a leader in the market, is able to answer in an appropriate way to the customer needs, and is very close to our customer. This is an important point. We have a very strong also social responsibility. We have a lot of initiatives. We have a plan within 2030 that we want to provide every product that we provide with recycled materials. And clearly, our mission is to create innovation for the human being and the growth of the overall generation. So I believe our service organization across META region has a comprehensive portfolio, able to answer to the customer requirements, and in particular to help them to run the overall digital transformation. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lorenzo Lumassi, the Vice President of Dell Technologies for a huge region. Nice meeting you, and welcome to Cairo. I wish you a fantastic time here in Cairo ICT.
Thank you very much for the time spent together. Thank you.
Thank you.